Atomic Habits, Chapter 1. The Surprising Power of Tiny Changes. What if I told you that getting just 1% better every single day, not 10%, not 50%, just 1, could completely transform your entire life within a year? Most people would laugh at that. 1%, that's nothing, that's invisible. And that's exactly why most people never change. Let me take you back to 2003. British cycling, one of the most historic cycling programs in the world, had won exactly one Olympic gold medal in the previous 76 years. One, in over 7 decades. No British rider had ever won the Tour de France. Equipment manufacturers wouldn't even sell bikes to the British team because they were worried it would hurt their reputation. Then a man named Dave Brailsford took over as performance director. And he didn't come in with some massive revolutionary training program. He didn't hire the world's best coaches or spend millions on equipment. Instead, he introduced a philosophy he called the aggregation of marginal gains. Simple idea: find every single tiny thing that affects a cyclist's performance and improve each one by just 1%. They redesigned the bike seats to be slightly more comfortable. They rubbed alcohol on the tires for better grip. They tested different massage gels to find which one helped muscles recover fastest. They even painted the inside of the team truck white so they could spot dust particles that might contaminate the bikes. They taught riders how to wash their hands properly to reduce the chance of catching a cold. Sounds ridiculous, right? Washing hands? White truck paint? These are the secrets to winning championships? Within 5 years, the British cycling team dominated the Beijing Olympics. They won 60% of the gold medals available. 4 years later in London, they broke 9 Olympic records and 7 world records in a single day. And then, one of their riders, Bradley Wiggins, became the first British cyclist to ever win the Tour de France. 1%, repeated, compounded. That's what happened. Here's where it gets interesting, and honestly a little uncomfortable. If you get 1% better every single day for a year, you will end up 37 times better by the time the year is over. 37 times. Not 37%, 37 times. That's the power of compounding applied to behavior. But here's the flip side, and this is the part nobody wants to hear. If you get just 1% worse every day, a little lazier, a little more distracted, a little more comfortable, by the end of that same year, you'll have declined almost down to 0. The math is brutal. 0.99 to the power of 365 is 0.03. You are essentially nothing compared to where you started. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just like money, the most powerful results are delayed. You don't see them right away. And that's exactly why people give up. Think about an ice cube sitting on a table. The room is at 25 degrees Fahrenheit. You start heating the room. 26 degrees. Nothing happens. 27. Still nothing. 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees. The ice cube just sits there, not a single drop of water. You've been working, you've been adding heat, and there is 0 visible progress. Then the temperature hits 32 degrees, and suddenly the ice cube starts melting. Was all that work before 32 degrees wasted? Of course not. Every degree mattered. Every degree was building toward the inevitable breakthrough. But if you'd quit at 30 degrees, which is exactly when most people quit, when nothing seems to be working, you would have walked away thinking the heat didn't matter. You would have blamed the strategy instead of trusting the process. James Clear calls this the Plateau of Latent Potential. The work you're doing right now may not show results for weeks, months, sometimes years, but it is all accumulating. Every workout you do when you don't feel like it, every page you write when the words aren't coming, every uncomfortable conversation you have instead of avoiding it, the results are coming. They are always delayed, but they are never canceled. Now here's the part of this chapter that genuinely changed how I think about self-improvement. And it sounds almost offensive the first time you hear it. Goals are overrated. Wait, before you click off, hear me out. Every athlete competing in the Olympics has the goal of winning a gold medal. Every startup founder has the goal of building a successful company. Every person who joins a gym in January has the goal of getting fit. So if goals determine success, why do some people win and others don't? They all had the same goal. Here's the answer Clear gives us. The goal was never the difference, the system was. The daily habits, the processes, the repeatable behaviors, that's what separated the winners from everyone else. Think about it this way. If you're a football team and your goal is to win the championship, great. But if you don't fix the broken offensive system, the weak defensive structure, the poor communication between coaches, the goal means nothing. You will lose, and you will set the same goal next season and lose again. Goals tell you where you want to go. Systems are what actually get you there. And here's the kicker. If you focus entirely on your system and completely forget about the goal, you'll still hit the goal. But if you focus entirely on the goal and ignore the system, you'll struggle every single time. So here's what Chapter 1 of Atomic Habits is really saying underneath everything. You don't need to be extraordinary. You don't need to overhaul your entire life this weekend. You don't need a dramatic turning point, a rock bottom moment, or a perfect plan. You just need to get slightly better than you were yesterday, and then do it again tomorrow, and the day after. The British cycling team didn't win because they found one secret. They won because they found hundreds of tiny ones, and they didn't underestimate a single one of them. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. In the next video, we go deeper into Chapter 2, where Clear explains why the most powerful thing you can change isn't your habits, your environment, or even your routine. It's something far more fundamental than any of that, your identity. Don't miss it. If this gave you something to think about, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And if you want the rest of the Atomic Habits series, subscribe, because every chapter of this book is worth its own conversation. I'll see you in the next one.